everybody, welcome back to Hearthstone Arena, Northernlion's Den. We're going to continue on with this 1-0 mage deck, and I'm jinxing myself completely, but it's been a pretty good run of form in Arena lately. We had like a 5-3, then a 7-3, then another 7-3, and now we're 1-0. So, you know, we're cruising for a bruise, and I've set myself up for failure. I'm just taking a quick look and filling some time. Well, I remember what this deck actually has, because it's been a couple of days since I played Hearthstone, and I like this deck as I look at it here. Why don't we start then? And hopefully we will match someone who is as bad as I am, so I will have a chance to go up 2-0, and then I can make my standard comment where, oh, well, you know, if we're 2-0, worst case scenario, we go 2-3. In any case, though, it actually is the truth that, you know, getting that first win feels really good. It's like a load off your shoulders, because the difference between going 1-3 and the difference between that and going 0-3 is basically monumental from a psychological standpoint. At least you won 25% of your games instead of, you know, literally 0%. But anyway, we're going to match up with somebody here, and we'll see who it is. And I'm hoping that it's nobody ever... we played Sephra before. I'm almost positive that we have played Sephra before. Warrior is a little bit of a dangerous class now. I think, you know, Sorcerer's Apprentice for a two mana drop, 3-2 is good. I think we only need one Mirror Entity. I'd rather save one for the later game. In the early game, you know, I could play this on turn 3 maybe, but... we'll probably get a shitty minion out of it. Frostwolf Warlord is good, but not good enough early enough, I should say. Instead, we'll get an Ice Lance and a Cone of Cold. First time we've gotten Cone of Cold in this deck, I think. That's actually a very useful card. Basically, it's like Ice Lance, but you freeze 3 minions instead of 1. Okay. Well, we could do first turn Wild Pyromancer. Or first turn Sorcerer's Apprentice. Let's do first turn Sorcerer's Apprentice, just to fuck with him a little bit. So this makes all of our spells cheaper, so I can play like a Mirror Entity next turn, or a Cone of Cold, or Ice Lance is, you know, literally 0. So that's good. Next turn, I could Wild Pyromancer and Ice Lance, and kill if he sends out a... Oh shit, Heroic Strike? He's really gonna kill Sorcerer's Apprentice with Heroic Strike. Alright, well, you know, 2 mana to deal with my 2 mana drop is actually a pretty good idea in all likelihood. Why don't we send Wild Pyromancer out there? It's another 3-2. The ability of it, if you're not familiar, is it does 1 damage to all characters or all minions? All minions, whenever you cast a spell. So, you know, that includes himself, so he's probably not going to live too much longer. And in fact, if I can trade Wild Pyromancer 1 for 1 with the Knife Juggler, I'd be pleased about that. The thing is, the Knife Juggler still gets the benefit of his buff, even if I freeze him. So I'm trying to think if there's anything better I can do. Like, I can freeze a character, sure, and then hit him with my hero power. Big whoop, right? But I think instead I'm just going to swap minions and then drop a Mirror Entity card. Mostly because I respect Knife Juggler a lot more than I respect Wild Pyromancer, because Wild Pyromancer is going to hurt me, which is fine. You know, I obviously have an affinity for Mad Bomber. Let's see if I get Bloodfen Raptor. So I paid 3 mana to get a 2 mana creature, which is not great, but at least I have something on the board. I didn't have any other creatures in my hand, so I kind of was stuck with it, wasn't I? We'll see what he does in return. Fiery War Axe, that's a really good card. That is going to basically make it impossible for me to get any board control, and I would say he looks like he's in a pretty good position right now. Kirin Tor Mage, the next secret you play this turn, costs 0. That does not very much for me. I'm going to play Kirin Tor Mage, and I'll explain why as soon as I figure out why. Well, let's look at the plays that we have here. I'll probably Kirin Tor Mage and Ice Lance. And the reason I'm Kirin Tor Maging is not to get any benefit from secrets, but just that 3 mana for a 4-3 drop is okay. And I may Ice Lance the Bloodfen Raptor just so that he can't swap creatures with me next turn and maintain his weapon. Like, basically, this move of mine was to force him to use his Fiery War Axe to break Kirin Tor Mage, and then that weapon's dead. And that will hopefully keep him from being able to use that for more board control. And it was like either that or I could do exactly the same thing with Ancient Brewmaster, but I kind of wanted to clear out the level for Ancient Brewmaster to actually show up, if that makes sense. So, I'm in a kind of a bad spot so far. I'm losing right now, is what I'm trying to get at. So, Cone of Cold is an interesting one here. Freeze a minion and the minions next to it deal 1 damage. So I could use Cone of Cold and then my hero power to destroy one of these things. But I kind of like the idea of just summoning Ancient Brewmaster this turn. And we'll see how this works out for us. The good news is we do have, like, the Erasure card. We have Flame Strike, so if he has a lot of minions out on the field, Flame Strike will kill everything. But the problem is we don't have late-game minions of our own to go out there right now. So we really need something like that to show up in our hands as soon as possible. It will be an interesting question to see if he chooses to use his both of his creatures to kill me. He doesn't have any mana left. Oh, no, he's just going to attack me directly, which is probably a smart idea. What this does mean is that on this turn, I can hero power Sunwalker, trade Ancient Brewmaster for it, which is fine. Hero power, kill Cone of Cold. Okay. Let's think about this. First things first. Hero power, I think, is smart. And then, you know, we could just fireball him and then kill one of these creatures for free. This is an interesting choice. But I'm going to wipe these creatures out with Flame Strike anyway, right? So maybe it's actually better to kill the Sunwalker. It's a taunt, so I have to. And then, you know, we lose our creature, but... Or maybe it's better to kill it with a fireball. And then hopefully he doesn't kill Ancient Brewmaster next turn. Next turn, we Flame Strike, kill all of his minions, presumably, and we'll still have Ancient Brewmaster on the board. I think that's the smart thing to do, even though Fireball is a great card that I hate to use in this situation. And this does kind of rely on him making a certain play. This is how I think I can maintain some form of board control. So ideally, this turn he spends a lot of cards, he plays a lot of low health creatures, and then attacks me directly. I Flame Strike and get board control, but I don't have any other minions out there, so it's all basically up to Ancient Brewmaster. We could also, if we draw like a decent creature, I could Cone of Cold, freeze everybody, and basically give myself one more turn before I have to use Flame Strike. He's going to sacrifice his creatures to kill me, which is a smart play, I would say. He summons Scarlet Crusader, which means that 2 Scarlet Crusaders. I will summon in return... It's a weird one, because obviously, here's what I could do. I could, like, hit him with Fire Blast, get one of the Divine Shields done. Cone of Cold, that would kill one of them and freeze the other one. And also take Divine Shield off. But that doesn't worry me too much. If I throw out Chillwind Yeti and Fairy Dragon, he will probably sacrifice both Scarlet Crusaders to kill Chillwind Yeti, and then Fairy Dragon will still be alive. They'll still be alive as well, but next turn I could Cone of Cold, kill 2 of those. Fairy Dragon maybe we can kill whatever else he puts out. So do I really want to use Chillwind Yeti, though, as, like... What to do? I don't know. This is a tough one. This is a very good game for strategic play. I like this. We need to get Fairy Dragon out there. He could also just sacrifice 1 to kill a Fairy Dragon, and maybe he leaves Chillwind Yeti alive. I think that would be a mistake, though. And, of course, he has cards in his hand that could be amazing, so who knows? If he's a typical warrior, then he has, like, 9 or 10 Battle Rage cards. Okay, so he's going to sacrifice 1 to kill the Fairy Dragon. Honestly, I kind of prefer that he did this, because if Chillwind Yeti lives, what do I do on the next turn? Hero Power, get the Divine Shield down, Cone of Cold to kill both of those, Chillwind Yeti's left on the field. But hopefully I have another card that I can use to, you know, with little mana, I can at least summon like a 2-mana creature or something like that. Alright, so he's chosen to do that, which is probably pretty smart. At the very least, we can Cone of Cold and freeze that War Golem, and we can send out River Crocolisk. So, actually now we don't need to use our Hero Power either. So, well, we will use our Hero Power, but we'll use it to do something else. Cone of Cold. That will kill both of those and leave only the War Golem left alive. Now, we want to get the War Golem into, like, territory where we can Flame Strike it next turn, and whatever else he shows out, or whatever else he throws out at the same time, so that'll require 2 Hero Powers, and we will have enough mana, which is nice. And we will not... If we have to sacrifice Chillwind Yeti for it, we will, but I'd rather not. Now, we'll see what he has in his hand. I obviously have next to nothing, but the one card that I do have remaining is pretty important. Stampeding Kodo. Oh, it kills the River Crocolisk, which is frustrating. What else does he have? Now there's no easy way for me to kill all of his remaining creatures. He buffs it. Now there's There's one way for me to kill to kill War Golem. We'll see what else we draw, though. Hopefully it's a 2-mana card that gives me some huge benefit. It's a 9-mana card, Onyxia. It's a weird one, right? Well, obviously we can't... I think we should establish the board control first. So I think this turn, we Flame Strike, Hero Power, Stampeding Kodo, sacrifice Chillwind Yeti to kill War Golem. Next turn we play Onyxia, and then hopefully that's enough. Let me make sure that I've calculated this properly. The Flame Strike was important, and then the board's clear. He has 1 card, I have 1 card. Is his card better or equal to my card? Well, he has 2 cards now. We'll see. I don't know. That well played could be a confident well played, or it could be like, fuck, I'm screwed well played. We'll see. Those are both pretty good cards. He won't be able to kill Onyxia on the next turn, unless he draws a weapon or something like that. And I might not even play Onyxia on the next turn. I might as well see what I have. Well, okay, I'm going to play Onyxia on the next turn. So, this is an interesting moment for him. There are some warrior cards that are like deal your weapons damage to all minions, or Brawl could be like totally fucked up right now. It kills all minions except 1. It could leave Onyxia alive, or it could, you know, leave a Whelp alive, or kill all of my creatures and leave one of his minions alive. But for now, I'm feeling pretty good about this. If we win this one, and this will be the second time that Onyxia coming out has essentially saved us. Because we played it twice in the last game, I believe. But this is a game that, for a little while, I felt was kind of like spiraling away from me. And now I feel like I'm in a little bit more of a commanding position. We have, well, if you count our hero power, we have 15 damage on the board. It's not enough to kill him in 1 turn. But, you know, it's enough to do quite a number on him. He's going to start sacrificing, or killing my whelps, which is a smart idea. In fact, we will probably kill some more of our whelps to at least kill the Amani Berserker. What is his card? Restored 3 health from Earthen Ring Farseer. So, I do have to be a little careful about this. I think 2 whelps to kill the Amani... Okay, 1 whelp... it doesn't really matter, does it? Let me think about this. Okay, Stone Tusk Boar goes out. And we might as well use a whelp. It doesn't matter whether we use a whelp or a Stone Tusk Boar. And then we use our hero power to destroy the Amani Berserker. Kirin Tor Mage obviously has to go out. And honestly, I do kind of think maybe we kill him and then go like 1, 2, 3, and then we keep... Yeah, I think we should get rid of him, even though this does lower our health, and then we'll go like 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll hit you. So we have complete board control right now. I'm not as in a commanding position as I hope to be, but, you know, now he's top decking. He could get a miracle top deck. He didn't, thankfully. He killed the shitty minion, and both of our good minions are still left alive. But obviously, Onyxia is in kind of a shitty spot. We need to do as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible. So that will require the use of our hero power, which is not fantastic, but it's damage. And, you know, worst case scenario, we can slowly whittle him down with Chillwind Yeti, Kirin Tor Mage, and our hero power, even if Onyxia dies. But let's see if his top decking is enough to beat my board control right now. Probably not, but could happen. I think he's going to concede probably here. All right, that was he played well, I think, he or she, and I think we got a little lucky, but also I'm pleased with our performance nonetheless. So that is going to take us to 2-0. So prophetic, if you will. We are about to complete another quest, I guess, if we win another game. So let's play another game just to see if maybe we get lucky and manage to make that self-fulfilling prophecy come true. It was a fun game. There was lots of strategic thought in there. Cone of Cold requires, you know, a little bit of finesse to use. And I think we made that work with the Cone of Cold and Flame Strike on subsequent turns. Made it a little more possible for us to handle that. So I'm pleased with myself. I do like the Mage class. It's probably one of the classes I've spent the most time with at this point. Now, I love Ancient Brewmaster, but unfortunately I do need to kind of maximize my chances of getting a smaller minion, like a 2-mana or a 1-mana creature, which is why I'm keeping Mirror Entity. Worst case scenario, turn 3, at least I can get a minion. Oh, and this is worst case scenario now, unless I top deck like crazy. He took all 4 of his cards back, though, so maybe we both have shitty draws. But it would be hard-pressed for his to be shittier than mine, although I will say, now that we have Sorcerer's Apprentice, we can play this on turn 2, and then that will not allow us to play Mirror Entity for free. But next turn we can play it. So, Sorcerer's Apprentice for sure goes out. And, you know, that makes Flame Strike cheaper. Mirror Entity's a lot cheaper. And Mirror Entity, if he doesn't play a creature on this turn, if he life taps, it's good for him because he gets a huge card advantage. But I could Mirror Entity and then get some pretty nice board control. Basically trade his creature for Mirror Entity and then still have Sorcerer's Apprentice on the board. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I also love Sorcerer's Apprentice when you have like a 0-mana Ice Lance. Like a 0-mana freeze is pretty nice. Wild Pyromancer, yeah, sure, it's a scary card. We can't do anything. Well, we could attack him. Do we want to sacrifice Sorcerer's Apprentice for Wild Pyromancer? No, because worst case scenario, he ends up killing both of us simultaneously. I might as well hit him and get the value out of Mirror Entity. And I think my ability is better than the Wild Pyromancer's ability. What I mean by that is, like, if he casts 2 spells, then it'll just hurt him for 2 as well as me for 2. Of course, he could have, like, a life drain or something like that, or I forget the drain life, I think is the Warlock card name. Does 2 damage, heals him for 3 or 2. It might be 3 for 3. I can't remember, though. That might be... My perception might be augmented by spell damage plus 1. Anyway. You know, I'm thinking about it, and maybe it would have been best to actually kill the Wild Pyromancer just to get board control. Well, just to neutralize board control. And we will have Mirror Entity play now. We got Novice Engineer out of it, which is pretty bad. We don't even get the card draw from it, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but he only has 1 card left, so that's good. And as long as Sorcerer's Apprentice lives through this turn, we can play another... Oh, well... Fireball's not good enough in this situation, but we can play another Mirror Entity. And we can actually do some really good stuff here. I like Mirror Entity. We Fireball... Oh, no! I misclicked!
I'm sorry.
I mean, oops. What I meant to do was... Fuck. What I meant to do was Fireball Wild Pyromancer, and then Novice Engineer... Wild Pyromancer, they would trade, and then I would kill him and still leave Sorcerer's Apprentice left alive. Instead, that is actually a pretty major problem, but sure. I'm an idiot. I just let go of the button too quickly as I was like kind of dragging it along. I mean, I don't think there should be an undo button in the game. I think that's fair play, but shit happens basically. That cost me a pretty good deal here in the early game. Hopefully it doesn't end up defining the game. If he, like, spirals out of control with board control here, then I'll know. But what does he play? Oh! Thank you for playing Summoning Portal. Assuming it lives, I will be able to summon some cheap-ass creatures next turn. Now, obviously we want to kill his Summoning Portal. Oh, he's got 1 mana. What is he going to use it for? He's going to buff his, Oh, he's going to return Novice Engineer into his hand. Not bad. Probably pretty smart, in all honesty. Alright, we're just going to have that card sit on the field, I guess, then. So Venture Company Mercenary is really cheap and good, and it would kind of like mitigate Venture Company, or kind of mitigate the Summoning Portal a little bit. But we could also Chillwind Yeti and then Venture Company Mercenary, which seems like a much smarter play, or Chillwind Yeti, Frostwolf Warlord, and then for each friendly minion, yeah. So Chillwind Yeti 3 would gain +1/+1. This would be a 3 mana 7/7. Which I think is too good to pass up. So I'm going to put this out here. Yeah, it is indeed 7/7. And we'll attack the Summoning Portal just so it's easier to kill next turn. And this is mostly like, I'm trying to make him have a lot of difficult choices to make. He wants to kill the Summoning Portal, but he doesn't want to leave Frostwolf Warlord left alive. No matter what he does, next turn I will probably summon Venture Company Mercenary. By summoning Venture Company Mercenary, you know, that's 7/6. That's a crazy good card. And then I have 2 kind of removal cards in my deck. Chillwind Yeti, he doesn't want to leave Chillwind Yeti on the field either, but, you know, he only has 5 mana. That's not a lot. I mean, it's a lot when you have Summoning Portal, because maybe you could summon as much as 5 minions for that. 5 3-mana minions if you have them. But what is he going to do to get my minions off the field before I take care of his Summoning Portal? Because if my Summoning Portal lives and his dies, he's in a bad spot. Direwolf Alpha will allow him to destroy my Summoning Portal this turn, which is good. I don't know what he's going to do with his other Summoning Portal. Probably nothing. He's got 2 mana left, and he plays Novice Engineer. So he's got, again, this deck is obviously based on card draw to a certain extent. Blood Imp is annoying as fuck, but we'll be able to wipe it out with Flame Strike or Cone of Cold. So, we have to kill some things. No question about that. First thing that we will kill is Summoning Portal. It's got to go. Next most valuable target is, well, Blood Imp, but I can't do anything about that. Next most valuable target is Youthful Brewmaster. Or, if we, I can't Fireball because I want to play Youthful Mercenary. Or, sorry, Venture Company Mercenary. Youthful Mercenary? What am I thinking? So we'll take 3 damage here, and that's going to be enough for Frostwolf Warlord to be killed. But fuck it. First things first. Venture Company Mercenary. And actually, what we'll do here, maybe we'll 2-2-1. We'll attack directly. Or no, maybe we'll attack Gnomish Warlord. We'll use Ice Lance to freeze Youthful Brewmaster. Next turn, Flame Strike. All these dudes are dying. Except for this one. So I almost want to like kill Gnomish Inventor first. And then do 8 damage to the Warlock directly. But it might not be a bad idea to get Gnomish Inventor off the field, just so he's not a pain in the ass anymore. So let's do that, and we'll hit you directly for 1. Okay, so if he doesn't take care of Venture Company Mercenary and Frostwolf Warlord on this turn, he's going to be in a rough spot because I will presumably be able to wipe out all of his minions with Flame Strike next turn, including Blood Imp, which is going to, you know, neutralizing Blood Imp is an extremely important play. He has 3 damage on the field, plus the 2 damage from Blood Imp, which he probably doesn't want to use. And then he's got a lot of cards in his hand. He can't use Summoning Portal anymore. The Summoning Portal Mirror Entity is what maybe might have saved me on this run, or on this match, after making a terrible misclick with the hero power. That is just, like, absolutely facepalm worthy. First, I've seen it happen. Like, people will post about it on Reddit, Hearthstone sometimes, and they'll be like, there should be an undo button for obvious mistakes like this. And yeah, I was like, yeah, well, I just never misclick, so it's not a big deal. Turns out, you know, it happens to me too. Not that I'm necessarily, you know, the greatest Hearthstone player in the world. I don't know how he's going to kill everything here. Okay, so that's maybe good for him. But at the same time, I'm going to like, that's just more cards for me to Flame Strike, essentially. And if he's not gonna, if maybe he'll Life Tap at this point, obviously, like, I would welcome that, because he hasn't taken care of any of my minions. So I just have, like, a fuck ton of damage left on the field. Oh, what's he got here? What's he got here? Demon Fire. Deal 2 damage to a minion. That's not good enough, man. That's really not good enough right now. So Flame Strike is exceptionally valuable in this situation. And now we do, like, basically a fuck ton of damage on this turn. And he's got to do something before the next turn, or he's in a bad spot. Now, it's possible that he might have, like, the Jiraxis card. And what Jiraxis does is it, you know, brings you back to 15 health, and all of a sudden your hero power is 2 mana. Alright, Hellfire's interesting in this case, but can he stop me from dealing damage to him next turn? He used all of his mana, and I'm just going to Fireball him anyway. So, I'm sorry, but well played. 2 Fireballs, actually. So that went pretty well again. I'm pleased with this. We're going to go 3-0 as our mage. I understand that this is kind of a shorter episode here. We did just get another 40 gold, but I'm very pleased with this. Worst case scenario, we break even. I'm going to cut the episode short now. Normally this doesn't happen, but I have something I need to do immediately, so I apologize that this is a little bit of a shorter episode. And I'm very happy that I won in spite of my mistake there. As always, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to click the like button. It helps me out a ton. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more daily Hearthstone. And of course, leave a comment letting me know what I could have done better beyond just not misclicking. Taking my time, maybe, is an important part of that then. But again, in any case, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time.